That's a surprise to most, because that's the legal one. Now, it is true, within 36 to 48 hours, the suffering's over. But if you talk about keen suffering, that would have to be the keenest suffering. And that's where we have the buckets of hot water. Why do we have buckets of hot water? We have buckets of hot water to put their feet in. Because when the head is aching and the blood tends to congest in the head, and you put your feet in the hot water, basically the feet are saying, hey, come down here. So what comes down is the excess blood comes down, and it takes pressure off the head.
Dr. Barbara O'Neill reveals that your beloved cup of coffee might be as harmful as smoking, with recent research linking it to a staggering 40% increase in chronic health issues. For millions who drink it daily, this seemingly innocuous habit could be secretly undermining your well-being. Dr. O'Neill uncovers how coffee's hidden dangers extend beyond caffeine crashes, revealing its potential to cause adrenal fatigue, disrupt sleep, and exacerbate anxiety. Dive into this explosive exposé and discover the shocking truth about how your daily brew might be silently sabotaging your health. According to Dr. Barbara O'Neill, coffee is a potent, dehydrating agent. Coffee, widely consumed for its stimulating effects, also possesses diuretic properties that contribute to dehydration. This diuretic effect is due to caffeine, a central nervous system stimulant that increases urine production by inhibiting the reabsorption of sodium and water in the kidneys. The loss of fluids through increased urination can lead to a reduction in the body's overall water content, which is essential for maintaining proper physiological functions. According to Dr. O'Neill, a pathologist's study revealed that it takes approximately 2 glasses of water to counterbalance the dehydrating effect of a single cup of coffee.
And most people don't realize that that coffee is a huge contributing factor to dehydration, to heart malfunction, and also to imbalance in heartbeats. So there are some things that have to stop if you want to keep the heart withal diligent, and one of them is caffeine, because of the way it leaches the magnesium out of the body. And as you can see by what I just described, magnesium is so important. Anyone that comes to me with high blood pressure, we do quite a few changes, but we always supplement with magnesium because it keeps that heart muscle at rest. You see, your systolic is your high point and your diastolic is your bottom one. It relaxes that diastolic and brings it down a little bit. And the Celtic salt can do that. But how often are people with high blood pressure told to what? No salt. Now there are
This statistic underscores the substantial water loss that can result from regular coffee consumption, particularly for individuals who do not adequately compensate for the loss by increasing their water intake. Dehydration at this level can impair various bodily functions, including digestion, circulation, and temperature regulation. Furthermore, chronic dehydration can lead to more severe health issues, such as kidney stones, urinary tract infections, and even impaired cognitive function. Dr. O'Neill also points out that many people may not be aware of the cumulative effect of coffee consumption on dehydration. For those who consume multiple cups of coffee daily, the dehydrating impact can be significant, necessitating a corresponding increase in water intake to maintain proper hydration levels. She advises individuals to be mindful of their coffee consumption and to ensure they are drinking sufficient water to offset the diuretic effects of caffeine. Coffee consumption, particularly when taken on an empty stomach, has been shown to disrupt the stomach's protective mucosal lining. This is a key defense mechanism against the harsh acidic environment. This mucosal barrier, primarily composed of mucus and bicarbonate, is essential for preventing the stomach's lining from being eroded by gastric acids. When this barrier is compromised, the underlying epithelial cells become susceptible to damage from these acids, increasing the risk of gastric irritation, inflammation, and ulceration. One of the primary reasons coffee disrupts this mucosal layer is its ability to stimulate the secretion of hydrochloric acid, HCl. Although the stomach naturally produces HCl for digestion, an overproduction, often triggered by coffee, can overwhelm the mucosal defenses, leading to the erosion of the lining. Moreover, coffee contains various compounds, such as catechol, which can reduce the production of the mucus that protects the stomach lining. This reduction further weakens the mucosal barrier, exposing the stomach lining to potential acid damage. Additionally, coffee is known to increase the release of gastrin, a hormone that not only stimulates acid production, but also accelerates gastric motility. This rapid movement can lead to a shorter contact time between the stomach contents and the protective lining, further increasing the risk of mucosal thinning. The impact of this is particularly significant for individuals prone to acid-related disorders, such as gastroesophageal reflux disease, GERD, or peptic ulcers, as coffee can exacerbate their symptoms by reducing the effectiveness of the mucosal barrier. If that's not all, the acidic nature of coffee itself can directly contribute to the reduction of mucosal thickness. Chronic exposure to such acidity can gradually erode the protective layer, making the stomach lining more susceptible to damage from both the acid in the coffee and the stomach's own acid production. And in addition to those, coffee consumption can negatively impact the body's ability to absorb essential nutrients, particularly minerals, due to its dehydrating effects. The reason? Coffee basically acts as a diuretic, increasing urine production and leading to fluid loss. This dehydration disrupts the delicate balance required for efficient nutrient absorption. Specifically, calcium, magnesium, and iron rely on proper hydration for effective absorption into the bloodstream. When dehydration occurs, the concentration of solutes, including these minerals, in the digestive tract increases, which can hinder their uptake. Additionally, dehydration affects the efficiency of the gastrointestinal tract, slowing down the movement of food and nutrients through the digestive system. This can make it harder for your body to break down and use the nutrients from your food, which can worsen any existing nutrient deficiencies. Moreover, coffee can interfere with the absorption of other key nutrients, such as glucose, calcium, magnesium, and iron. The tannins and polyphenols found in coffee can bind to these minerals, reducing their bioavailability and preventing them from being properly absorbed in the intestines.
Now, there is one drink that leaches the magnesium and the calcium out of the body, and that is caffeine. Now, there was a bit of a groan last night when I mentioned this one. I call it Australia's darling. Is it New Zealand's darling too? What's a darling? Something they love. It's very, very effective at leaching the calcium and the magnesium out of the body. And most people don't realize that that coffee is a huge contributing factor to dehydration, to heart malfunction, and also to imbalance in heartbeats. So there are some things that have to stop if you want to keep the heart with all diligence. One of them is caffeine. Magnesium is so important. Anyone that comes to me with high blood pressure, we do quite a few changes, but we always supplement with magnesium because it keeps that heart muscle at rest.
This is particularly concerning for individuals at risk of osteoporosis or anemia, as impaired absorption of calcium and iron can worsen these conditions. Furthermore, coffee's acidic nature can irritate the stomach lining, leading to a decrease in the secretion of digestive enzymes. These enzymes are crucial for breaking down food and facilitating nutrient absorption. Reduced enzyme activity can result in incomplete digestion, leaving nutrients unabsorbed and potentially leading to malnutrition over time. Additionally, caffeine in coffee can stimulate the release of stress hormones like cortisol, which can further disrupt nutrient absorption. Elevated cortisol levels can impair insulin sensitivity, making it more difficult for the body to regulate blood sugar levels and absorb glucose efficiently. This hormonal imbalance, along with dehydration and reduced enzyme activity, sets off a chain reaction that makes it harder for your body to absorb and use essential nutrients. On top of that, as coffee acts as a dehydrating agent, it leads to a decreased blood volume, forcing the heart to work harder to pump blood, potentially leading to cardiovascular strain. This strain can worsen existing heart conditions or lead to the development of new ones over time. Moreover, as we already mentioned, dehydration from coffee consumption can impair kidney function. The kidneys require adequate water to filter waste and maintain electrolyte balance. When dehydrated, the kidneys may struggle to perform these functions effectively, leading to the buildup of waste products in the blood. This can contribute to the development of kidney stones as the urine becomes more concentrated, increasing the likelihood of crystal formation. Additionally, chronic dehydration can impair the kidney's ability to regulate blood pressure, increasing the risk of hypertension. The dehydrating effects of coffee can also impact neurological health. Dehydration can lead to reduced cerebral blood flow, affecting brain function and potentially triggering headaches or migraines. These headaches are often due to the constriction of blood vessels in the brain, a response to the lack of adequate hydration. Over time, frequent headaches or migraines can impair daily functioning and reduce quality of life. Apart from that, dehydration can slow down digestion and lead to constipation, as the body lacks the necessary fluids to move waste through the intestines efficiently. This can contribute to the development of gastrointestinal disorders such as irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, as chronic dehydration affects the gut's ability to function optimally. Additionally, the diuretic effect of coffee can lead to the loss of essential minerals like potassium and magnesium, further disrupting bodily functions and contributing to muscle cramps, fatigue, and other health issues. However, now, you might wonder, why do so many people drink coffee so often? Well, there is a common misconception. Many people mistake thirst signals for a craving for coffee or other caffeinated beverages. Basically, when the body is dehydrated, it sends signals that are often misinterpreted as hunger or a need for stimulation, leading individuals to reach for coffee instead of water. This choice makes the problem worse because caffeine is a diuretic, which increases urine production and leads to further dehydration. The cycle is perpetuated when the temporary energy boost from caffeine masks the underlying dehydration, causing the person to consume even more caffeine rather than addressing their body's need for hydration. Now, this dehydration impacts the body's physiological functions, including blood circulation, temperature regulation, and waste elimination. The body requires sufficient water intake to perform these functions optimally, but the habitual consumption of caffeine can disrupt this balance. The stimulation provided by caffeine is often short-lived and leads to a subsequent energy crash, prompting people to consume even more caffeine to maintain alertness, thus continuing the cycle of dehydration. Dr. O'Neill emphasizes that when you feel thirsty, you should drink water instead of coffee or other caffeinated drinks. Proper hydration is essential for maintaining overall health and well-being, as it supports cellular function, aids in nutrient absorption, and helps detoxify the body. So, you should recognize the body's true thirst signals and respond to it by prioritizing water intake. Only this can break the cycle of dehydration and improve both physical and mental health. Finally, believe it or not, there is a critical relationship between hydration and brain function. The brain, composed of approximately 75% water, relies heavily on proper hydration to maintain its intricate network of neurons and neurotransmitters. That means, if coffee is a dehydrating agent, coffee's effects can impair cognitive performance. Water acts as a vital medium for the electrical impulses that facilitate communication between brain cells, enabling processes like memory retention, focus, and problem solving. When the body becomes dehydrated, even slightly, it disrupts this delicate balance, leading to a number of negative effects on the brain. Dehydration reduces blood flow, limiting the delivery of oxygen and essential nutrients to brain tissues. This can slow down neural activity, impairing cognitive functions such as concentration, alertness, and short-term memory. Over time, chronic dehydration may contribute to more serious cognitive decline, potentially exacerbating conditions like dementia. So, this effect is particularly concerning for regular coffee drinkers who may not compensate for this fluid loss with adequate water intake. The resulting dehydration can intensify feelings of mental fatigue, irritability, and difficulty in making decisions. Moreover, Dr. O'Neill suggests that dehydration from coffee can also influence emotional health.
You know, while we sleep, our body repairs, revives, rejuvenates. Staying awake all night, what was keeping you awake all night? Sorry, did you say something?
Coffee.
Oh, coffee. And to make it taste a bit better and give us some energy, what was going in the coffee? The sugar. She was dehydrated. She didn't want to keep going to the bathroom. She had a lot of work to do. Can you see? Tick, tick, tick. The vessels are constricting. the blood's thick through the dehydration, stressed out, stress causes this constriction, and she had a stroke.
The brain's chemical balance is closely tied to hydration levels, with dehydration potentially disrupting the production and regulation of neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine as well. These neurotransmitters play a crucial role in mood regulation, and their imbalance can lead to increased anxiety, depression, and negative thought patterns. So, it's kind of a myth breaker that while coffee may provide a temporary boost in energy and alertness, its dehydrating effects can have the opposite impact on overall brain health and cognitive function. In addition, Dr. Barbara O'Neill also provides an insightful examination of how drinking coffee with meals can disrupt the digestive process by diluting stomach acid, which is essential for efficient digestion and nutrient absorption. Stomach acid, or hydrochloric acid, HCl, is crucial for breaking down food, especially proteins, and creating an optimal pH environment for digestive enzymes to function effectively. When coffee is consumed during or immediately after meals, it can significantly lower the concentration of this acid in the stomach. The dilution of stomach acid due to coffee consumption impairs the breakdown of proteins. Proteins are broken down into peptides and amino acids by pepsin, an enzyme activated in an acidic environment. When stomach acid is diluted, pepsin's effectiveness is reduced, leading to incomplete digestion of proteins. This incomplete digestion not only compromises nutrient availability, but can also lead to gastrointestinal issues such as bloating and discomfort, as undigested proteins can ferment in the intestines. On top of that, the reduced acidity in the stomach impacts the digestion of fats and carbohydrates. Stomach acid plays a critical role in emulsifying fats, breaking them down into smaller droplets that are easier for digestive enzymes to act upon. A diluted acid environment can hinder this process, leading to poor fat digestion and potential malabsorption of essential fatty acids. Similarly, the digestion of carbohydrates, which begins in the mouth with the enzyme salivary amylase and continues in the stomach, can be disrupted. Carbohydrates that are not properly digested can ferment in the gut, leading to gas and bloating. The absorption of essential minerals such as calcium, magnesium, iron, and zinc is also compromised when stomach acid is diluted. These minerals require an acidic environment for optimal absorption in the intestines. Plus, insufficient stomach acid can lead to decreased bioavailability of these nutrients, potentially contributing to deficiencies over time. Moreover, coffee's caffeine and polyphenols have stimulating effects on gastric acid production, but this does not necessarily translate into improved digestion. Instead, coffee can speed up the movement of food through your digestive system, which reduces the time available for nutrient absorption. This faster transit can worsen problems further with incomplete digestion and nutrient deficiencies. So, do you agree with Dr. O'Neill's insights on coffee's hidden dangers? What's your take on the impact of caffeine on health? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more health insights. And if you are already an avid coffee drinker, it's high time for you to take care of your health with Remedies. But remember, it's better if the remedies are natural. And to know more about this, click on this video.